Hey there everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thank you for joining me today. Hope everybody's doing well out there, ready for a great week. Set your intention for the week. That's very important. You determine your week. You determine your week because it's more about perception than it is about what actually happens to you. So let's all have a really awesome week this week. I want to talk about destructive raw food diet mindset today. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you're not already part of it, please go down there and hit that subscribe button now. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. What I'm going to talk about today, this is without a doubt, and this can translate to pretty much anything. It doesn't have to be just the raw food diet, but one of the things I find most destructive of all is this self-criticism, this I don't know, beating yourself up, this just like lingering with regret from things you've done. First of all, too many people have unrealistic expectations. None of us are perfect. None of us are perfect. Now, if we're talking about the food too, for some people, this takes a little bit longer for them to get it. I don't know why. I don't know if it's physical. I don't know if it's mental, but it can take a little bit longer for people to figure this whole thing out. So, especially, I would say for everybody, but especially in the beginning, having that beating yourself up, I'm guilty all the time mentality is self-destructive. And I'm talking in practical things here. I'm not talking about, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm not talking about love yourself, self-love. I'm not going to start giving you some chants to do. I'm talking about logic. That makes zero sense. I was talking about this with a friend the other day, and I'm thinking, I kind of go Spock on people sometimes. It's just like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but that doesn't make any sense because it's just not logical. Of course, we don't all live a completely logical life. And the reason it's not logical, it's because you're focusing your mind, your attention on something that's out of your control. It can't be changed. I mean, it doesn't matter how horrible. I mean, I'm not going to start listing things, but even outside of food, it doesn't matter what you did yesterday. You might have done the worst, most heinous thing in the world. You can't go back and change that. All we can ever do when we make any kind of mistake is move forward. We can learn from it. I'm not saying you necessarily need to repress it or push it out of your mind or, you know, not think about it at all. No, I would say sit and think with it a while. Sit and think about what you've done sometimes when it comes to food for a while without that judgment of yourself. Just be aware of it and use that as a lesson instead of this thing that sends you into a spiral. Because what happens, what I find happening when people put this this idea of perfection on themselves and then they aren't perfect, the worst part happens after that. It's not so much what they ate, but it's like that gets in their head. They're not perfect, and now they're feeling guilty, and now they're getting all depressed and stuff. And what happens most of the time with that kind of thinking is it spirals down a bit. How far, you know, depends on the person, but you know, before you know it, I've seen this 100 times. It all started with somebody ate one thing and they were giving themselves a hard time. And then 2 months later, they post something or they tell you something like, yeah, I've been way off my plan. I've been eating this the last couple of months. Kind of falling into this whole, like, you know, when we feel depressed, we do have this thing, we want to eat comfort food. And sometimes I think when people fail or don't do their best on this raw food diet, they get down. And it's just, you know, this mentality of like, oh God, I can't do this. And we go forward. We go forward. That's all we can really do. So no matter what you do, the next time you have a slip up on this raw food diet or you have a slip up with anything in life, take a mindful approach to it. Look at it. Don't try to, and look at a situation or what you've done or your behavior or whatever with no judgment. Just look at what is. You know, look at what happened. Don't think of it in good or bad terms. Think of it as a lesson. Figure out, if you want to go that deep's okay. Figure out why you did that. What caused you to, you know, deviate from your plan or do something that you don't want to do, and take that lesson. And then you can use that and you file that away and you remember that this caused you, or this feelings caused you, or this food caused you, or this behavior caused you to behave in a certain way, eat certain things that didn't work for you. So you learn something from that and you'll try to learn how to prevent that. But I wouldn't waste 1 second on it. And I wish I'd have picked this up about 20 years ago, because I didn't used to be like that. No matter what you did last night, you erase that. You know, once you sit with it and you kind of, you know, figure out why you did what you did and how you can use it, not beat yourself up, you erase that. Like as soon as that day's over, all you're thinking about is going forward now. Another thing that people tend to do when they do like that is overcorrecting, which I would kind of warn against too, because as soon as I see it all the time, people take, you know, they eat something bad and they get real down on themselves and they think they have to compensate and go, you know, then they try to do some sort of juice feast, juice fast. Nothing wrong with it if that's where they are, but probably if they're falling off the wagon, they're not there. So I would just recommend you make a mistake yesterday, you wake up today, and you treat it like nothing ever happened. You eat what you would have normally eaten today. You don't try to compensate. You don't go, okay, well, I better eat less today, or I better not eat this. Just get right back on your plan. Wipe that day out and get right back on your plan. What I mean when I say overcorrecting is they, instead of just getting back on the horse, wanting to do their plan, they want to do something drastic. It's like, I got to make up for it. So that's when they decide to do some sort of a cleanse or a fast or whatever. And that's probably the worst time to do a cleanse or a fast or whatever, even if you're going to do it. I'm not, like I say, I'm not throwing the cleanses and the fast under the bus, but my personal opinion is it's a mentality, because you've got to learn how to eat on this lifestyle. So the best thing you can do is just erase that day, like I said, and move forward from there. Eat the, like, okay, I eat something bad today, doesn't affect today. Shouldn't affect what I eat today. I just get right back on my plan, because my plan, if I'm doing my plan consistently, you're looking at one little thing. Look at it like that, one little slip up amongst 30, 40, 100 days of doing pretty good. So that's just not, I mean, just don't do it. I know I'm just kind of rambling today, and this is a bit of a rant, but I think this will help people a lot, because throughout the years, having done this and having gotten comments, and I've gotten a number of emails on this, of people that just feel so bad, you know, no matter what they did. Hey, we're human. We make mistakes. So let me just stop with that, or I'll just keep repeating myself. The next time you find yourself in this situation, just get right back on your plan. No fuss, no muss. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.